Hello everybody, I'm going to do a review on this 30-inch floor squeegee I picked up from Harbor Freight. This is item number 60236 for reference. These retail for $10.99. I applied a 20% off coupon, so $8.79 plus tax out the door. Not too bad. This is a 30-inch floor squeegee as noted, but it's actually 29 7/8 if we want to get technical. But I'm not going to squabble over an 1/8 overall length. Now I've already used it. I'm shooting this video in reverse and it works extremely well. So I'll get in for a little bit of a finer detail because I think the quality and construction of it is pretty outstanding, especially for what I've paid. Here's a shot of the aluminum extrusion, and it's quite beefy. It does not flex at all. It's very rigid right there. Here's of course the rubber blade that's in it. Now this was square cut when I purchased it, and you can see it is wearing down, so it's actually a pretty soft rubber and it works quite well. And here's a quick shot of the attachment point for the handle. Now I do just want to note that Harbor Freight does not sell tapered handles. You need to find that elsewhere. I've come up with a solution for myself, but you might want to entertain it, and I'll discuss that momentarily. But a nice heavy steel stamp construction here. It's supposed to have a standard taper on it. Now these two screws right here are what clamp this down onto the extrusion. There are nylocks on the back of here, and hopefully you can see this screw right here. This is the one that holds the blade in, so you can take that out, flip the blade around, replace it if you could find one, which I doubt you could. But note this little slot here. If you loosen these up, you can set the angle of this in relation to the handle. I did have to make an adjustment, and I pretty much have it buried right here. You can't get far enough one direction to where you could actually use it as a push with the blade sweeping behind it. You can almost get there, but if you chose to, you might be able to take this out with a implement like a saw or something and get a little bit more travel right here, and you might entertain that, but I just use it as a pull and it works just fine. Well, as I mentioned, they don't have tapered handles for them at Harbor Freight. Now I did look at a wooden one at Lowe's, and the taper was something very, very strange. It was a nice big handle for maybe $6, but the taper was all wrong. You know, this looks to me, it's more like a rake handle. I didn't even look over there. I just went with this particular pole, which telescopes out to 8 feet, and I think it was around $18 or so. But you know, this one goes to 8. They have longer ones, but I got this as a multi-purpose tool here because you can put window cleaning supplies on it, as well as paint rollers or dusters they show here, whatever. You know, you can screw a paint roller on right here, but here's the taper and here's a button you can push. Now the hole here in the Harbor Freight one, it's a little bit small. I can get to it, but rather than enlarging that hole, I just force it on a little past and it stays on there no problem. And then of course just wiggle it, take it back out. So this is just another option you might consider, or check for like a rake type handle and see if it has whatever this claiming to be a standard taper is. Alright, well, here's a quick demonstration on how well it works. I'm pretty pleased with it. Works pretty good in about 10 minutes or so since it's hot. This floor will be dry. Well, alright guys, my final thoughts on this particular product is it works, and it works great. You know, there's not much to say about it. It is extremely wide for what you get. I think the widest one I saw like at the Lowe's store was 24 inches, and it was a heck of a lot more money than what I paid for this. You know, for my application, it worked great. So check them out if you need one to clean out your garage floors or whatnot after you clean them up. You might be surprised on how well it works. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching and good luck.